This is the Chancellor's Report from 89.7 WUWM, Milwaukee's NPR, featuring Thomas Gibson, Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. And here's your host, WUWM General Manager, David Lee.
Hello, and thank you for joining the UWM Chancellor's Report here on 89.7 WUWM. I'm David Lee, General Manager of the station, and I'm here, as always, with UWM Chancellor Thomas Gibson. Hi, Tom.
Hello, David. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's coming to be summer, and it is an exciting time of year.
Absolutely, and I so look forward to all that summer affords.
That's right. This will be your second summer in Milwaukee, right?
Yes, but the first, I was in the throes of relocating and really trying to make sense of the transition.
Yeah, I love it. Well, hopefully this summer we'll be able to treat you much better than last. Today, sort of appropriate, we're going to be talking about a new initiative called Roar Ready.
Yes.
Exciting. It sounds a little bit panthery. I don't know. I'm not like a rocket scientist, but it sounds a little panthery. Tell us a little bit about Roar Ready.
Right. So Roar Ready is pantherish, if you will. It stands for Roadmap for Opportunity, Achievement, and College Readiness. It affords an on-ramp, if you will, for children and teens to take access to more than 200 programs designed especially for them at UWM. We like to think of these programs as a doorway to more opportunities, helping students explore all what a university has to offer in a age-appropriate way. And I'm just really a fan of getting more young folks onto our campus with the aim of hoping that they will see themselves as college students one day and perhaps be future Panthers.
So I intuit, or I've recognized that through a lot of the conversations we've had over the last year, we've talked a lot about pipelines and pipelines to UWM. This sounds like what we're talking about, like an initiative that sort of makes that pipeline visible, essentially.
Absolutely. We want young students, the youth rather, to envision themselves on a college campus. And while I am biased to UWM, if it's not UWM, I hope they will pursue a post-secondary education. But we are envisioning this program to serve as a pipeline to our great university.
That's great. So who have you brought to talk about this today?
So today I have with me Mark Young. Mark is UWM's Chief Recruitment and Outreach Officer. A fun fact, Mark and I worked together at UW-Stevens Point, where I served as Chancellor, and he as the Director of Admissions and Enrollment. So I like to think that he was trained exceptionally well.
I think he preceded you here, though, right? So he made the road happen.
It looks as though I'm following him.
I love it. So 2 former Pointers, now Panthers.
Yes.
Mark, welcome to the show. I love the drip today. You're looking great.
Thanks so much, David.
For those of us who are not seeing on radio, Mark's got this incredible Panther t-shirt, which I actually want now. We're gonna check it out on the picture. So tell us a little bit about Roar Ready.
So Roar Ready is a program that really focuses on academic achievement, career readiness, and helping students find and create a sense of belonging on a college campus. When you think about UWM and the 200 programs that the Chancellor named, they're all spread across the institution, some that are in academics, some that are situated in departments, and then others in athletics. And so when we think about how easy it is for any families or students to find any one particular program or a breadth of the programs that we offer, we didn't really have one central entry point to the institution. Roar Ready creates that doorway for students and families to find all of the youth engagement programs at UWM.
So this is not a new program. It is a way of organizing it, essentially.
Essentially, yeah, it's a way to make it easier for families to navigate all of the different youth programs at UW Milwaukee
And access them
and access
in
them.
a rather visible way.
Um,
Absolutely.
so talk about that visible way. What does that look like?
Absolutely. So far too often, what we've found is that students and families struggle to find their pathway into
Sure.
the university. And so we wanted to create one seamless doorway for them to access these different pathways. We believe that we have a responsibility to create the conditions for students to engage with us and to be successful. And the goal of Roar Ready is to really add value to that student's learning journey through
Mm.
those three pillars that I named: finding a sense of belonging, career readiness and exposure, and academic enrichment.
I reflect back to my college or my high school years, and there was nobody in the city that I grew up pointing me to any place. I was just like a person out in the world trying to like understand where I could go. And so this sounds like you're really trying to like get kids to begin to understand at every grade level that college and particularly UWM is a place that they can be or should be even.
That is one of the many goals of Rural Ready. What we do know is that waiting until junior year for students to start exploring and understanding all that college has to offer may be too late for a lot of our first generation families. And
Mm.
so we want to instill in them at a very young age the ability and the belongingness that they can find at our campus.
I can understand why like a program like this would be important for like high schoolers, for example. But why are like younger kids? Why are programs like this important for kids in elementary school and middle school?
I think programs such as Roar Ready, it affords the opportunity to provide early exposure to the unknown.
Hmm.
You don't know what you don't know. So these types of experiences allow students to uh, determine new interests and and what they're good at in a way that's low pressure, in a way that is supportive and certainly encouraging. That's the environment that we want to foster within Roar Ready at UWM.
And that UWM is the one that's providing those experiences, right?
Correct.
That's great. So, Mark, as in your role, I imagine you're the one who had to pull together all these disparate programs and all these different departments into one single resource. That seems really hard. How hard was that?
Uh, Great question. With with any new program or initiative, what we know that we will experience is creating awareness, with helping folks understand the value proposition and what that discovery looks like and why they should be a part. And that's not exclusive to wrangling folks on campus. That's also getting folks in the community
Yeah.
engaged in this work, as well as our community-based organizations to help walk alongside us to support the students. And so we're navigating some of that. We know that we still have lots of opportunity to do awareness building, hence why we're here
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
But then also, we're getting out into the community and getting into spaces where we are, again, visible to the community and sharing all of the program offerings at UWM.
If I'm not like underselling this, it sounds to me like if I were tasked with this, it would be like, well, let's take an inventory of all the things and just put it on a page. That was that like a part of what your team did.
David, it sounds like you could do this work. So if you have some pro bono hours, let us know. But yes, we started there.
Yeah.
We did a collection of all the different programs across the institution. We identified the programs that align with the core values and the pillars of Roar Ready. And then we did some outreach. We
Yeah.
brought some folks in and said, hey, here's how we can add value to the work that you're doing. And here's how we can scale, if you have interest and opportunity, to bring in more students to make a greater impact in the city of Milwaukee.
Who are some of the partners you've been working with?
We've been working with partners both on campus. So the planetarium is one of those partners where they already had a strong base of folks who would do different events, whether those were free events or they would come for stargazing on campus. I actually am considering taking my wife there for a date. Hope she's not listening. They also have ticketed shows and then the ability to host birthday parties. I have some young kids, and so we're going to cue that as an opportunity for a future birthday party, as well as working with our folks from College for Kids and Teens. They do a ton of programming throughout the year, so they are gearing up for their summer programs, which are 1 to 2 weeks, and they do some really cool stuff, talking about like blacksmithing and jewelry making, a yummy art class that combines cooking and drawing. So some really cool stuff that students and families can get involved with.
This seems like a real gimme to me, right? Like insofar as like rationalizing and putting all of the kind of like pre-college programs into one initiative. Why do you think it took so long to get to this place, right? Like, or why has development of these programs sort of been so kind of ad hoc? Does that make sense?
It makes sense, and that's a great question, a question that we tried to answer on the front end of this, but nonetheless, we now have Roar Ready. That is a pathway for us, and so we understood a little bit that there was no central coordinator or organizer, but enrollment management and building some of the early affinity believe that this is sort of it falls in our wheelhouse and our opportunity to grow your own, so to speak. And so as we build that early affinity, the hope is that students go somewhere as they think about college and university, but we would love for them to come to UWM.
I second that.
So what's the reaction been so far?
It's been great. We have community partners that have been very responsive. We also have identified a few key school partners, both in MPS as well as the choice charter schools, where we have distinct relationships with. One of the most recent events that we housed at UWM in the Kalachi Center was for one of our premier partners, or premier Roar Ready partners, with Carmen Schools, where we did their college signing day. So Carmen Schools have a number of schools where they brought all of their students to UWM. So talk about putting boots on the ground, early affinity, and we celebrated their seniors that were going off to college and university, as well as those going into the workforce. I'm proud to say that UWM had the most of their seniors coming to our campus. 76 of Carmen seniors are coming to UWM. That's more than any other campus where students are going. And so we are in the third year of that. And I would love to say that the Roar Ready elements of building a sense of belonging and bringing those students to our campus had a little bit to do with that.
I love it. What have been some of the most popular of all the programs?
Yeah, some of the most popular, I would say, is the planetarium. We also have different experiences through college for kids and teens where it's wrestling, which is all about WWE. So Chancellor, looking forward to you engaging, and if you are so willing to get body slammed.
Mark, I don't want to test my health insurance out in that
we
way.
We have good health insurance.
No, we have waivers. So there's a difference.
I think you might be good. Nonetheless, I'll be there.
I'll volunteer. I'm definitely down.
There we go.
Got a promo on some teens.
Nice. We've also have camps called You Have a Friend in Me, and that looks to engage 6th through 8th graders in making friends, both in person and online. What we know about this generation is that they are far more comfortable online. And so we want to initiate some of those soft skills with curating friends in person.
That's that seems like a program that I think many of our listeners may think, oh, of course you need to do that, right? Because of the last 6 years during COVID and like all of the challenges that have been brought with the online environment. How did you discover that as a need, right? Like, how did that happen? How did that come to life?
Well, that's through our college for kids and teens. So I can take no credit for that. What we're looking to do with Roar Ready is to make sure that
people know about it and
absolutely
are able to get involved. That's great. what is the most surprising program to you? I mean, I'll tell you the most surprising program to me is about this wrestling thing that you just talked about. What about to you?
Yeah, to me, one of the most surprising is the virtual architecture summer camp.
Oh, wow.
And so, what you just named, David, is how students had to transition
Yeah.
to that virtual or online experience. And so, this program really exists to meet students where they're at, and that being in their home throughout the summer. And so, this camp really explores 3D technology and design and digital modeling. So, it really brings an element of like true career exposure
Oh,
to
wow.
students in their home.
And these are for pre-college kids.
Yep.
That's incredible. What about a hidden gem that you think more people need to
Mm.
know about?
Yeah, a hidden gem I would say is through our college for, excuse me, our Center for Pre-College Programs.
Hmm.
The Planning for the Future is a 3-week summer intensive where students will go on field trips and then they actually get to live in the residence halls for a night, and so they get that real
Oh, wow.
college life
Yeah.
experience. Many of our students, particularly here in Milwaukee proper, uh, as much as as much as we would believe this is not true, do not get a chance to get up to the Upper East Side and put boots on the
Yeah.
ground. And so these type of experiences help remove the barrier for those students and get that real college experience.
I love it. So what's your advice to either of you, right?
Sure.
For parents who are looking for ways to engage their children either this summer or next year as they're kind of in that pipeline of growing up, right, and moving down towards a college experience. What's your advice who are for parents who are looking for ways to engage their kids to give them a positive, you know, college horizon, world expanding experience through one of these programs?
I would recommend that they begin by visiting our website.
Yeah.
Explore the many programs and enrichment opportunities that exist, and determine which experience really match their student. And if they're so inclined, come visit campus, become familiar with the various spaces and resources that UWM affords. Talk with our program coordinators and leads to get all of your questions answered. I just really believe that Roar Ready is such a gem of an opportunity for the city of Milwaukee in our region.
Mark?
So Chancellor Gibson mentioned joining our website.
Yeah.
That website is uwm.edu/Roar Ready. On that website, you can join the mailing list.
Yeah.
That mailing list will allow you to get updates about new programs that are launching, when those applications are opening up, and when we're starting registrations.
That's really, really exciting. It's is there like a period of time when more of these programs are operating, or is this just a year long sort of engagement?
Year-long engagement. We see programs that happen throughout the academic year as well as over the course of the summer. And so we invite families at any point throughout the journey
Yeah,
to engage with our website and see the different programs.
I think the feeling, right, is that college is sort of like shut down during the summer, but it sounds like things are still rocking and rolling.
The campus is still very much so vibrant and active
Yeah,
with young students as well as our college students that are taking summer courses and our faculty and our staff that are in their labs doing research, working with students, and certainly ensuring that the university continues to hum and
yeah.
deliver on its mission.
I mean, I was shocked when we were talking a little earlier that orientation activities are beginning to start in the coming month or already, right? So
Yes.
is we've talked a lot about families. Is Roar Ready just for families, or do school counselors at the community partner schools use it too? Like, tell us a little more about that.
We very much invite both families as well as school partners to join our mailing list and visit the website and engage with my team in undergraduate admissions because we know that those school counselors are still in the top two of influencers of
Yeah,
how students are navigating academics and learning. And so we may find that a school counselor sees one of our programs, reaches out, and then we can curate a specific experience for that school that brings a bus of 30 students to our campus for a very unique experience.
Right. I mean, the school counselors have got to be like the biggest ambassadors, right, for UWM or any college.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
I remember my college counselor in my high school was probably the one person who like led me down a pathway to college because again, like I was just a guy who's just like, I don't know where I'm going to go. And without him, I don't know where I would have ended up. I probably would have just, applied to the closest college.
Yeah, school counselors play a critical role,
Critical role. Yes.
in helping students navigate the college search and decision making process. And any success that we have with enrolling students
Yeah.
does not happen
Without them. Yeah,
without them.
for sure. So, Chancellor, if I remember correctly, you used to work as a camp counselor in programs similar to some in Roar Ready.
I did.
Uh, do any of these programs at UWM remind you of those days?
Absolutely. For me, is college for kids and teens.
Yeah.
Because of the leadership competency opportunity, as well as the introduction to fine arts and athletics and academic enrichment, ensuring that students have access to those comprehensive set of experiences is just so important. And I too learned so much working with youth and those enrichment types of programs.
What's something that you remember that sort of stay with you even now, so many years into your leadership journey?
So one of the field experiences of that summer camp program was a camping trip. And I was responsible for the welfare of 8-year-old boys. And they all appeared to be so tough and macho. But once we were in the forest and when night fell, I just remembered them calling my name periodically just to make sure I was still with them in the tent.
Oh, wow. And I'm sure you called back and didn't
absolutely. No. I made sure they know that I was still there present and that they were safe.
It sounds like that's a core leadership competency about like being present, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
as people, and we were talking a little bit earlier about change management, right? That is a core thing about how you help people feel safe through change, right? Is to be present with them and experiencing it with them,
right? And to build trust.
Yeah,
I think after that experience, we bonded in a way that allowed us to navigate some challenging issues through their personal development. So building that trust was just really critical to their professional development and personal development, for that matter.
I think the thing that I'm struck by in this conversation is how presence, as you just mentioned, Chancellor, leads to trust, leads to engagement, right? And that's essentially what these programs are, right? They are trying to get pre-college kids into the university and have the university present in their lives. That builds trust and hopefully leads to engagement with the university when it's time for them to choose about where they want to go.
That's the aim. And to further punctuate this notion of trust, we're also building trust with parents and families. To
being present in their lives too, right? Yeah,
absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
I love it. This has been a really fun discussion. I love talking about kids who are wondering about whether or not about where they're going to end up in college, and to be able to do it in a fun way with these incredible programs and being able to highlight some of the gems that we have on campus and as an outlet for this pipeline of students, I think is really, really exciting and super fun. But our time is winding down, unfortunately. And so, as you all know, we like to end the show by sharing the coolest thing we've done in the last month. Chancellor, let's start with you.
For me, it was presiding over our spring commencement ceremonies. It was my first at UWM for the spring, and it was just electric. The students were so proud of their respective accomplishments, as was I. And our faculty and staff colleagues. The cheers that I heard from their family, friends, and other guests was just astonishing. It was just through the roof, and I couldn't have been more prouder to be Chancellor of UWM and support the future of our newly minted Panther alumni.
I love it. I think you win this month for coolest thing, Chancellor. But let's bring in Mark.
Well, thank you. I would stick with the graduation theme.
Yeah.
So, over the course of the last month, I have been able to attend National College Signing Day events for students who are graduating high school and declaring where they're going in their post-secondary aspirations. And to see so many students and, again, families and supporters be in one space and cheer on and
Yeah.
congratulate the students with an amazing accomplishment of graduating high school and then taking their talents on to the next journey or chapter in their life. It's cup filling and it's a great reminder of why we do this work.
I love it. I guess I'll stay with the graduation theme too. We recently just wrapped up the finalist interviews for our Vaughn Fellowship, which is basically a
Yes.
fellowship for early career journalists here at WWM. We had 5 finalists come through. 3 of them are UWM graduates out of the JAMS program. And each one of them said, "Hey, I just graduated." And it was such a great kind of feeling to like kind of be a part of that journey for them and hopefully being a stop in their career to bigger and better things. And I got to tell you, like, if I could have been as self-possessed and smart and focused as these, early 20-year-olds coming into a news station, interviewing for a fellowship, I'd be a different person, right? Because looking back to when I was in my early 20s, I was not that. And these folks were really great. And I think it is a real testament to the quality of the education coming out of the JAMS program that these graduates were just really, really tip top and really, really incredible.
Thank you for saying that, David.
I'm saying it just because you're here. I've been saying this this whole last week, so it is it really gives me a moment of like Panther pride, right?
Yes.
That we are really excellent and the best in some ways. So
Yes.
thank you all so much for being here. You've been listening to the UWM Chancellor's Report here on WUWM 89.7. Thank you so much, Chancellor. Thank you so much, Mark, for an incredible conversation about being Roar Ready.
Thank you, David. Until next time.
You've been listening to the Chancellor's Report featuring Thomas Gibson, Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. If you'd like more information, go to uwm.edu/chancellor.